morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you to everyone on Patreon. Thank you for just being you. Just a big thank you this morning. Yeah, that's it. Just a big thank you. Today's reading is going to be a message from their heart to yours. You've got 3 choices: cactus flower for number 1, aspen gold for number 2, and Swedish blue for number 3. So if you want to take your choice, and then we'll get stuck in and to see what their message is to you, and there's a tiny bit at the end what your message would be to them. You know what your message is, so it's just a smaller add-on at the end. So there you go.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Pile number 1. I can tell you what I'm feeling here. But before I start, I've just got a little story, just a little story. It's about me, I'm afraid. It will be very, very short. Then I'll get on to you. I was just going to say, many years ago, I had a Reiki, I don't know what it was. This guy came around to our house. Me and my sister decided to try it, and we had a Reiki session. And he decided it was all to do with, I don't know, tumor Reiki, I think it's called, or something like that. And he put his hands over my heart. It must have been about 20, 30 minutes. I don't know, maybe 20, 25 minutes, something like that. And I could feel something, but thinking, I don't really know what to think of that. And then he disappeared. The next morning, I woke up a completely different person. There was no narky. There was no grumpy. It was as if I had taken some sort of drug that made me into the most beautiful, lovely person in the world. It was fantastic. I can't explain it. I've taken drugs, as in like different potions, I suppose, because I'm quite good at doing that can replicate that feeling. Shazandra, a little bit. Pariah, I think, is another one that I've taken that seems to feel like that. Yeah. There is a possibility for us all to be able to function in some way that bypasses the angst and the power plays and the anxiety and all those things that we feel are part of ourselves. They don't have to be. And I guess we can get the same feeling from perhaps meditating on our hearts as well. But just thought I'd drop that in. So this reading today is going to be a reading from your person's heart. If they could wipe away all those other bits that I wiped away, and it lasted about at least half a day. It was something magnificent. I can't even put it into words, but let's have a look at your person, their message to you. I'm going to feed my way through this. To see what I can see, then I will turn it more into message. Your person's coming across as justice, but there's Pluto overriding the whole spread. So justice is somebody with Pluto underneath. Makes me think that this person has got very base, animalistic reactions that are tempered with a kind, lovely, diplomatic exterior, as probably have we all. You know, deep down underneath all of us, we're still mammals, but we pretend to be a little bit more human. And this is very much part of what's going on underneath here. And you've got here the Sun card twice as well, which makes me think that this person wants to be, or has been, very childlike, sweet, open and warm to you anyway. Has shown you some love in some shape or form. You're coming across as the lovers here. So to me, this is a feeling of passion, possibly with Pluto here being intermingled with that love feeling. Is what I'm picking up, to be honest, from first viewings. You've got the Page of Wands in the centre with the King of Wands underneath. So your person, to me, with the Page of Wands is a funny feeling to it, because I love these cards, but this bird is in action, but it's being guided by the moon. I think I say this every time. It's like it's action orientated, but using insight to get there here. So it's got a more of a cuppy feeling overlaying this one too. And the King of Wands is somebody with this feeling here who is trying very hard to function as a grown-up, to look competent, to look... this makes me think of somebody who's trying to do what their father did, or the family did, or follow their family line or the family business, or just look like they've got it all together. But deep down, this person likes playing, has got, well, I guess, especially with the Wands card here, has got a playful attitude to life and wants to play in love. It feels to me like somebody who may want to shirk responsibilities in some way, in a nice way, like they just want to go on holiday, or they just want to remember who they were before they got pressures, but they're still trying to search to find themselves, to look like they can say, I achieved this before I kicked the bucket, and that makes them feel good. So maybe somebody who's quite driven in some way. On underneath the Sun, you've got pain, and yeah, the Devil card here. This feels to me, when it comes to love, and it feels like it just dribbles out of not just the love arena but into different areas. Somebody who could be quite obsessive or anxious. This to me feeling, this is like childlike, this is driven to me, and this is pain, and that to me feels slightly anxious. You know, when you do something so that you don't get told off. And we always discuss this about how people are driven in work, and some people do it to show off, and some people do it so they don't get told off. This is somebody who could stay late at work trying to get the last things done so they don't get picked up for it. And if I could translate that to love, it's somebody who wants to be themselves but feels that they're not going to be accepted. And hence this Pluto down here. And Pluto is absolutely fantastic for a bit of passion, but a lot of the time that passion is coming from a place where this person feels like something's going to be taken away from them, they're going to be left empty. The Sun card down here, your person could be very fiery. They want to play, they want to feel young, they want to... when I see these cards together, I feel like a fool when I say this, but is that, I can't remember, is it Andre 5000 or is that a car? There's a guy who used to sing, I can't remember what songs he sang, but I looked up his chart. He was long and slim, and it was something like, hey, yeah, wasn't it? Or something like that. Well, that was part of the song. And I looked up his chart because he said something which really caught my ear, or my eye, I can't remember if I read or heard it, where he said that, oh no, it was in one of his songs. It was about taking your clothes off and being as you were when you were kids. And this has got this feeling of taking away the drive and taking away the pretense and taking away what's right in society and taking your clothes off and standing in front of each other as if you were like, don't take this the wrong way, 3 years old and you were in the paddling pool together. Then that was a really sweet feeling that made me look up that guy's chart who was Gemini, Capricorn moon. You don't expect that from but this has got that feeling. Playful, Gemini, childlike Gemini, but the Capricorn moon could be quite driven, but there is fire here. There's a sweetness here as well. Well, it's all the way through, to be honest. With the Sacred Heart here and the Justice card, it's like somebody who feels like, it's like somebody who recognises themselves in someone else. And I've been doing quite a lot of astrology charts lately, and most of the time I'm looking at people's charts and thinking, somebody's attracted to somebody else. You're the same person. We fall in love with ourselves. So vain. I love it. We fall in love with ourselves. The energy that you tend to be, I would guess 95% of the time, is vibrating at the same energy that you tend to rumble to. And this person with the Sacred Heart recognises you possibly from other lifetimes, but there's a feeling here of being home with a Sacred Heart there with you, and the Justice card is like smoothing things out. So this person feels like they can relax with you, but having these difficult cards at the end, And having you looking very passionate with the Pluto over here, there's a feeling that this could be taken away. This could be taken in two different ways. Your person could be in a situation or circumstance where they can't actually be with you, or this person hasn't really integrated their Pluto, or they've got very hard aspects to it, and could fear that at the end before it's even started. Which, people with hard Pluto, that's why they become angry very quickly, or they overreact when rebuffed, or they sense that something's not going their way. This type of feeling, 10 of Swords, 5 of Swords, is painful. And you can see that sometimes in kids. I've seen children with heavy Pluto on the ascendant playing, say that's about 6 or 7, and when other kids are we say they're with their parents and other kids are introduced, and their parents are there, it's like they're losing control of how much love they're going to get from their parents. And if they can't integrate them, that's just too much for them. And they end up having all attention on them, screaming abdabs. Until the parent comes and cajoles them. It's, and it's all about them, and they feel secure again, which is painful for the child. You don't wish difficult aspects on anybody, but I think we wish them on ourselves sometimes to overcome those bits in ourselves. Hard on kids, though, I always feel. Okay, so what have we got here? A message from their heart to yours. What do they want to say to you? It would be something like, I know that I strive, and I know that I'm busy, and I know that I'm a proud person who wants to play, who wants to feel like they're on holiday, who wants to not hide, or to have to look competent, or to look like or to take on too much responsibility. There's sometimes I just want to let that go, but I've forgotten how to, I would guess from here. I know that I appear calm on the surface, and I know that I appear as if I'm all together, and I know that we get on well, and that our conversations are good with the Justice card there. And I know that you're probably attracted, because this is Gemini and this is Libra, we're both attracted to each other because it's an easy flow and it feels familiar with these cards here. With the 2 Sun cards here and the pain from the Devil, in some way, shape or form, my heart has attached to you. And although it wants to be free and easy and to laugh and throw my head back and enjoy every moment, there's an anxiety in me that stops me from doing that. The Justice twice. I know that you're giving. I know that you're more at ease with yourself than I am. And with the Justice card here, it's almost like me being with you allows me to balance that different side of me that feels too attached, that it feels painful, or I feel as if something's going to be taken away from me. These cards here are the painful cards. Another thing they could say to your heart is that even though I feel that I can sometimes suffer from anxiety, that is more to do with me than to do with you. It's more a case of I feel like I let myself down with when I don't come forward, or when I don't open myself to you, or when I feel a little bit cold or a little bit shut off, or when the conversation doesn't flow as easy it did the first time possibly here, that you could take that personally. It's me trying to get it right the second time, because the first time was natural. I don't know why that feels, because this feels easy, but you've still got these cards here. The final message I think they would say to you is that you've helped me to be more of myself, to be able to reach parts of myself. It sounds like a beer advert, isn't it? What is that beer advert? Is it Strongbow or something, old cider? You help me be more of myself, to ease myself into being more expressive, to being more open with my heart, even if I know that I won't get what I want at the end, and that is a big deal for me. Another thing they possibly, with the Lovers, because that Pluto is shared by the pair of you, I know that the attraction goes both ways. And that's what is helping me find my way. This person, I guess, would feel lovable in some way, but it's incredibly well hidden with the Justice card there. It's hidden under a smooth exterior. This person would probably, or could say to you that something happened when I was young. It may not be something big. It may have just been like a 12, 13-year-old rebuff from somebody they asked out. And they'd probably say to you that I'm still searching to find my confidence in love relationships, which you have helped me with through some way, shape or form with the Justice card there. And you've helped me not fear the end or endings as much as I used to realise that the experience is more important than the outcome, I would say here. So pile number 1, that's what I've got. I've been talking for 20 minutes. That's long for me. I'm going to leave that there. I'm trying to find my clicker. I hope that feels right to you. This feels like somebody who's fun, somebody who has been fun at a particular moment. That to me it feels, because you've got the Lovers, that it really kicked off fast, and that the attraction was going between the pair of you, and then they've gone back onto their inward feeling of inadequacy, and they would like to say to your heart, that's not me. I know what we share. I feel it. I feel the same. But you're helping me along the way by being at ease and being open. Okay, I'm going to go. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. What's this? Bye. Wow. I don't know what to say about this pile number 2. Message from their heart to yours. You're both coming across as earth here. And the first thing that sprang to mind, I did a newsletter recently about labiciferae. I went to see when I was really, really young. And I wasn't really that interested in labiciferae. Allegedly, I don't know if this is true, his sister moved into my best friend's house. And he was in our area where we lived in Wales. Anyway, he played, and he was magnificent, absolutely fantastic. He was just singing these beautiful songs about love, and we were very young, and we were like, what was that? That was amazing. It was just not what we expected. Anyway, I was looking up his chart, and he's very, very earthy. And so I'm trying to think love and earth, and I'm trying to put it all together. And then I'm Googling these bits about him living with 2 men. He had 2 boyfriends that he lived with in Wales. And I thought, okay, 2 boyfriends, just unusual, I suppose, for somebody who's quite earthy. And I think one of them died or something, and he was basically saying that it broke his heart. I think maybe both of them did. Anyway, it's quite sad, but this has got this feeling of earth and passion in the centre. So it's an unusual feeling with regards to messages from their heart to yours. You've got here the 8 of Wands and the Temperance card and the Ace of Wands. The Temperance card, I'd love to say that it was balance and higher knowledge, but to me, slapped in between the 8 of Wands and being the central power, the Ace of Wands, it's got something to do with that Sagittarius energy, because it's here as well, of sexy time. So it's just that energy of everything moving, eyes wide open, groin rumbling, fantasticness. When you see somebody who you're really attracted to, doesn't really matter what your age is. I suppose it does a bit, but it's just that I'm awake, I'm alive, and that basic energy inside of me is coming straight at you, not dissipating on going to do the shopping, or perhaps doing a little bit of reading or watching TV or going to work. It's going straight. Sagittarius has got an arrow for a reason. It's going straight towards you. So at the moment, this to me is not a message from their heart as yet. Well, it may be, but it's got a lot to do with their pants as well. So this is a nice, if you're a passionate person yourself, this is nice, because it's coming from a very steady place. This person isn't, with the earth here, isn't somebody who's going to have a very, very sexy one-night stand and disappear. They're going to have a very, very sexy one-night stand and be there the next morning. Amazing, imagine that. Anyway, let's look at these cards here. The Knight of Swords and the Empress card. Once again, it's a very domineering feel here. So I'm trying to translate this, because you've even got Lilith down here. And Lilith is that screaming banshee when normally I'm going to say the sex is here. A man projects his Lilith, apparently, onto a woman. And it's the one that he can't have. It's the bits of himself that he doesn't express. And so he perhaps chooses a wife that doesn't threaten that sort of, okay, you're that, and he can feel settled with his wife, but occasionally somebody will come into his life, the bits that he hasn't developed, and it's like painful. And they want to be with that person. With a woman, it's the bits that she's very good at expressing it, but perhaps the male doesn't accept, and she eventually is rebuffed in some way, or just finds that she can't get herself into a relationship. But in the meantime, there's a huge amount of action in the head and in the pants, as I said earlier. It's like passion, but with trying to gain control in this one here. The Knight of Swords is dominating. The Five of Swords is dominating. This is a game. So to me, the message from their heart is going to be slightly different. Let me just keep going through the cards. The Three of Wands looking out, and that's very Lilith, isn't it? I can't come near you, so I'm watching you, and I would love to have a secret liaison with you. I changed that from affair. I want to do something naughty, naughty, because I find you incredibly attractive, I would guess, with the Empress card here. And let me have a look at these ones here. Once again, it's a similar feeling. It's a feeling of wanting to move, but some sort of anxiety, and perhaps thinking of a naughty thing, of a way to get forward, how to move themselves out of some sort of mental area, or some mental, it's like when you're thoughts are compacted in some way and you can't move forward with these here. Yeah, and same here as well. This person's stuck. Yeah, they're stuck with incredibly strong physical feelings towards you, finding you slightly threatening, feeling that they've got to basically hold their own ground in some way, being incredibly stubborn with regards to how they come across. And I think it's causing you pain as well. If you watch pile number 1, I forgot to put that card down for you, so please don't tell them. So what would their heart be saying? The heart would be saying, the feelings that you give me don't feel familiar. They feel as if I'm out of control. They feel as if I'm either going to shout something, blurt something out, blurt something. I'm not going to say that. Ace of Wands is giving me so many different images in my head, which aren't particularly good. I feel out of control of my body when I see you. And so how I cope with that is I turn to my general stoic type nature, where I normally am incredibly controlled, and I pull back from you. I hold on to my thoughts, and my how I talk is probably stilted, and I feel anger. It's anger with myself, anger even with you, the fact that you're turning up in this package that I want to be with, but I can't be with you. Possibly here, it's like, damn my eyes type of thing. How can you turn up looking so attractive, making me feel like this, and pulling me out of my comfort zone without me feeling anger? I don't know how else to deal with it. What I do is I probably watch from the sidelines possibly here. I hold on to my feelings, and I try possibly, I don't think this person tries too hard to deal with their anxiety. My heart, their message from their heart would be, squeak, help. It would be something like, oh gosh, because this isn't heart to me. This is somebody who's on the other side of the heart. I'm not saying that they don't love you, just saying that they're still dealing with a different part of themselves here. So the message from you, maybe this could be Temperance after all. I'm trying to balance meeting you, my normal reactions, my normal instincts, my normal ability to maintain myself, to feel that everything's okay. That's what my heart is trying to almost like peek out above what I guess is a table set with all these things that I've just discussed. It's like I'm trying hard to love through feeling attraction that is overwhelming and feeling threatened by it. Lilith, defensive passion down here. It's like my heart would be saying, why would you turn up being so attractive, so different from what I'm used to and what makes me feel secure? And you're saying down here, the Eight of Swords, I feel exactly the same. I'm used to feeling controlled and contained, and I feel there's like pulling back here from both of you. This is like, I'm not playing this game. This person goes through periods of time where they are watching you a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me. There's like a fantasy feeling here because of the not being able to get close. There's this like watching online or watching you pass or catching your eye, saying nothing feeling here. And with these cards here, it's like afterwards this person fantasizes about if it had gone forward, what would have happened, how passionate it would have been. This person's very lusty. It's probably what I would say with the Earth card there. What a great word, lusty. I mean, you probably are as well. This is one of those feelings of body recognition. If there was image in my head, which there is, if you could see lines of energy, it would be you two standing there. It would be planets or whatever going through or both of you. So you're both sort of singing to your own little song with regards to how you translate that energy from all these different planets, and then loads of lines shooting out in different directions, and which I think is what happens, and we tend to pull people towards us who cross our lines, or we hook on in some way, I don't know. And then this has got a lot to do with it coming down, having strong, earthy, basic instincts, and that is where you're locking. And this is why this is so passionate. And the heart is saying, when am I coming in? Do you have to go this physical route before I start playing a part in this? When am I going to come in? Because it feels like you're both dealing with intense attraction at the moment. And it's like another line from Jane Eyre, much of love will follow. I feel like I need more cards on this one. Where are my little cards? Yeah, this also could be with this distance card and the High Priestess. People who find their footing with regards to melding the heart with sex, I suppose, through a lot of sitting back and having time apart and having a more spiritual look. And, you know, when you yearn for somebody, I think that's when we tend to develop ourselves a lot, because we start thinking about ourselves and where we fit in and how to love somebody else. So their heart would be saying to you, I'm trying amongst what feels like threatening attraction to realise where I sit in the world and to open up towards this. I'm dealing with what I guess is a very basic, strong sexual pull towards you, which is quite natural to me. And then you turn up in this package where I can't have you. You look fantastic. And it puts me on edge. And it's something that I've mastered over lifetimes to be able to probably satiate this feeling. And with you, I feel like I can't get close to you. So it feels like it turns over and over and becomes probably, I would like to say obsessive, but I don't actually see it in the cards here. It's like I need time to be able to soften. I need to understand to be able to soften. And at the moment, because I find it difficult, I find you threatening this one, this one, this one, these ones. And you're like saying, I feel the same. I feel that I can't come close to you without feeling anxiety or feeling tense. This is an unusual read. Blockage, mental healing type of feeling through, possibly a slightly overwhelming feeling with a Lilith card here. And being normal, you take this person outside their comfort zone. They're very good at functioning in the everyday world, getting things done, head down, working and being nice to people and going home, and then in you come. And it takes them into a position where they have to. These are very sort of like spiritual. I don't know what it really means, but it's like digging deep inside your soul. This person's digging deep inside their soul to understand a connection that has got them big time. So from their heart is, I'm trying really hard to change. Yeah, I was just about to say then, honestly, where's the heart in this? When I'm just about to change, because it's passion. And then you put, this is like blocked off to open my heart. This person may be somebody who has a slow or low ability to feel love or to be love, which may sound ridiculous. And sometimes, you think of like Earth, like let's say Capricorn. This person could have Capricorn in them. It's not. People with Capricorn don't have, they love and they do it in different ways. As an earthy people, they love in different ways. They provide and they make you feel comfortable and they make you feel secure. But that isn't so much from the heart. Hence, I guess, it's difficult. I was going to say something about astrology then, but stopped. It's difficult for a Capricorn to involve their heart. I'm not saying they haven't got a heart, and I know this is, and Capricorns, I feel like when they're interested in astrology, have to fight with this all the time. And the more that I look at astrology, the more I have deep respect for those signs that I haven't got in me. I haven't got heavy Saturn in me at all. But the more, and that's probably why I look into it even more, because Capricorns fascinate me. But their ability to be soft and to love is there, but it isn't always automatic. Does that make sense? And I don't mean to insult anybody like Capricorns, because even this morning I was thinking that about people that I've loved have been very, very earthy, because I haven't got it in me, and I really appreciate the way that they're always there. The way that they show their love in different ways. Yeah, probably that's what I'm trying to say here. But this is a message from the heart, and I'm looking for cup cards. And I've got 2 earthy cards here. It's like this person's developing different ways to show love. More emotional ways rather than just practical. So let me try and, in case you are very earthy and I feel like I may have insulted you, and to be honest, I don't feel inside myself that I have, but just in case, I would just give you how a Piscean Gemini would, or Sagittarius Piscean would express their love. They would tell you, and you're probably thinking, if you're heavy earth, do they mean it? But, as I say, we're all very extremely different. That's where the energy is different. But they would tell you every day. And, Sagittarius, very generous. Pisces, very generous. We're buying you gifts and all this. And I know that you may be saying, well, what's the point in that? There's just different ways of showing it. This person, with regards to a message to your heart, is I'm trying to find those alternative ways to express myself to you, but at the moment I'm stuck in between what feels like a very passionate attachment to you, and trying to soften to be able to express my heart to you in some way, shape or form that I don't quite know about. But you've got the cup cards over these 2 blocked cards. So that's what I'm thinking. I hope that makes sense. It's just different ways that we love. And we are so fascinating. As I say, all the earthy people will be saying, well, if you're not there for me when something's gone wrong, or, if you're not going to want to settle down, then what's the point in that? And all you other people with, really heavy emotional planets, it's Leo, Sagittarius, it's not emotional, but it's like expressive planets. It's like, well, if we can't have fun together, we can't laugh together, what's the point in that? And then all the watery people, if I can't cuddle you, what's the point? We're all so different. And that's why I think tarot is such a great tool to look inside ourselves. And astrology is exactly the same. It allows us tolerance with ourselves, allows us, I feel like I'm lecturing here, and tolerance with others. So I'm going to leave that there. This person's message is I'm trying to find different ways to be more emotionally expressive, but I've thought I was doing the right thing, but I can't help my lusty nature. Okay, pile number 2, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye. Swedish blue, electric blue is the colour of my room. I was watching David Bowie on TV the other day, looking at him thinking, I always think it's Aquarius. I think it's because he was in like Starboy or wherever it was, or that type of UFO-y type things, the man that fell to earth. But he's not, his Capricorn. I'm looking at his face thinking, oh my gosh, he's so slim and so well structured, his cheekbones are so high, so yeah, I can see the Capricorn. But then he started talking, I will go on to your reading in a second, he started talking about his Ziggy Stardust years and how he was how he was changing and his theatrical performance. I'm thinking, that's not Capricorn, Aquarius. I googled him, he had a Leo moon. Then he started dancing down the street with Mick Jagger. And Mick Jagger, I'm looking at him thinking, this is what I think about all week. His movements it's like too much energy inside his body that he can't contain it. And he's not self-conscious, so he's not really bothered whether he's dancing well or not. So David Bowie's slithering down the street. He's sort of like, tiptoeing, doing a bit of groovy this and that. And then Mick Jagger is like some bouncing puppet. I'm thinking Sagittarius, I was wrong. But he did have Jupiter conjunct his sun. That is just how energy fills us, and how it, even inside our mum's bodies, it's beginning to build. That energy, I don't know, I dream about these type of things, must be playing a part while we're in our mum's stomachs, with the way that our faces are formed, how much layers of fat, how our cheekbones are going to grow in our, it's our DNA, isn't it? But there's nothing as beautiful as somebody with a big energy, and even if they can't contain it with their movements, they're always yangy. One more thing before I start actually doing your reading, if you haven't already switched off, is I remember a lady in work saying to me, she was putting stuff in the dishwasher and banging things around, and dropping things, and she said, I'm due on, so I can't control my energy. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, that's what it must be like for a lot of people who have too much masculine energy inside themselves. Difficult to maintain control. Anyway, now this is going to be more interesting than that. A message from their heart to yours. You have got the Two of Pentacles in the centre, and the Page of Cups, and the Eight of Swords. So to me, I'm thinking repetition, some show of love. Their heart has expressed itself to you in some way. And you've got the Moon down here, in some way that feels like they've attached to you, or they have allowed you to see their inner feelings in a small way, and it's caused them some anxiety. This is like repeating things. So do you see this person a lot? Does this person come into your life repeatedly? Do you see them like every day or every month or every week? And do they somehow make you feel good, allow themselves to express what their heart is feeling? But maybe that has petered out a bit with the Eight of Swords through to overthinking it, being anxious, I don't know. The Star card over here with the Swedish blue and me talking about David Bowie, They may be Aquarius. They may just be one of those people who are quite reserved in some way, maybe a thinker, somebody who wants to suss out what is going on in life, wants to be good, may not always be good, but wants the world to be a better place, for them to leave it thinking, I made it a little bit better by just being myself. Aquarius is very self-contained. But also 11th house is lots of other people. Anyway, the full moon here, going down this earlier pile, this is the most important one. 4 of Pentacles, 2 fours, 1 steady, King of Wands is making me think of maintain, somebody who is well maintained. I don't mean with regards to like a very groomed beard, which could be the case, but more in a case of proud and steady in their life, and they feel that they know who they are, and none of us know who we are ever. We need to keep forever searching. This person feels like they've maintained a degree of stability in themselves, and they're happy with that. And the star is fixed, and this has got a fixed feeling to it, and proud and confident. So, and I always think of this feeling when I see people who've been in the same job for a long, long time, and I go in and I'm thinking, and they're really, really confident. And I think it's easy to be confident when you don't move. This has got stability, and what I guess is a sense of being able to express yourself in a really nice, confident way, but maybe through doing the same thing too often, because it's fixed, and the star card is fixed. Okay, so let me keep going here. I will put it into what their heart is saying to you, but I've got to go through the cards. The star seed here and the tower are a big deal to me, and this is the end. It's like, I know you, I feel you, and those are the words that went through my head when I put this pile out. I feel you, and the star seed, but there could be, it could be a social group, it could be a friend group, and it's difficult, and this person's worming their way to you. I'm worming my way back to you, babe, with this card here. That tower card, you're getting, to me, this feels like anger through them being fixed. Because you've got the 7 of Fire here with this man shouting at me, and this is like your heart saying to them. The Hanged Man is like, I'm waiting, I'm here, what are you going to do about it? And that card indicates that as well. And this person, I guess, is slightly anxious with coming outside of this fixed comfort zone. They feel that they've expressed themselves to you, that so you should know what they feel, but they're finding it difficult to overthrow or overleap to the next step, because of some circumstance that's slowing them down, perhaps to do with different relationship, perhaps another person, maybe another woman, or a social group, or maybe your friends, or social anxiety even here. Nah, not with these Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Death. I'm going to say this, and this will only apply to perhaps 1 or 2 people, if that. If they have somebody at home who's poorly, this could be very much a case of having to maintain themselves for this person. It could be something totally different as well, with the death card there and that sort of let's go drinking card. They could already be married, or in a scenario, a situation, or a friendship group, don't have to be married, where moving towards you will take them outside that friendship group, if that makes sense. You know, when people move relationships, they also move friendship groups a lot of the time, so that is part of it, and it's like trying to feel their way. I've got so many songs and they're really old and rotten, and that was a bit of John Travolta going, was it? Yeah, it was John Travolta, which is causing fear here. So their heart, what would their heart be saying to you? And you're like, for crying out loud, get moving. Yeah, for crying out loud, get moving. And this person is doing the same thing. Do you know what it makes me feel of? And I've said this in other readings. Is it Blonde Ambition or Legally Blonde? Where the guy goes in, and I don't know what, it must have tickled me this, when he goes in to the nail parlour and he's the postman is delivering the package, and the woman, I can't remember her name, but she's in the news a lot, not the news, but in the media a lot at the moment, and she's smiling at him, but she's getting really nervous. This is what this feels like. It feels like this person's revealing, he or she's revealing their emotions slightly to you, like giving you a smile, or giving you a come on, and it goes over. It's past. It happened a lot, but there's anxiety between the pair of you. So when is it going to go past the here's your parcel, have a smile, and what was the I forgot what it was, not drop and catch or bend and snatch or something. Was that rude? I don't know. So their heart to yours, changing it swiftly, their heart to yours would be saying, I'm trying to show you, I'm trying to let you see that I'm interested in you, and I have feelings of softness and sweetness and caring towards you. The Star card here is that I want things to be good. It's like hope and looking forward to the future. I feel as if, no, this person doesn't feel this person is it. They don't know it because they live it every day. I'm quite happy with being myself and who I am and where I am. I know that I'm in a situation that I've experienced over and over again, the beginning part of their life, and I'm pleased that I'm who I am. I'm secure in it and it suits me. And I can't easily come out of that because it's what I've been working towards with these cards here. I can feel between the pair of us that there's something going on that I can't quite explain, although it feels natural, because these cards go quite nicely together with me. It's like the type of thing that I've been looking for. I've been looking for a bond that feels otherworldly, that feels as if there's a connection deep inside me that I don't need to put into words. But there is also a huge fear here of stepping outside my comfort zone that I'm happy in to get to you, and I fear that I'm going to lose the things I've built, whether it's like a house, friends, family, relationship. And I know that you're getting fed up of waiting. This is like please wait type of feeling in this spread. I fear losing you with these cards here because I can feel the connection with these cards here. And you're like, get moving. Let me just put another couple of cards out. Yeah, it's a natural instinct for them to feel love or to feel like they want to express their heart, or when they see you, and I don't know whether it is repeated, but it also feels difficult for them as well. I mean, the Star card Aquarius, it's not, if you Aquarius all the way through, it's not the easiest thing to do to use your heart all the time. They use their mental power and what I guess is a sense of wisdom to be able to help others, but not automatically coming straight through their heart chakra. And this person's learning how to do that in a way that they may not have done before very easily or naturally. Yep. You got the Two of Cups there. Their heart would be saying to you that I find it easier with you than most to learn how to love. But there's fear in here of me losing what I've built up here with this loss. But even though I feel that you are the right person for me. What can you do in this one? Why can't I shuffle? What can you do? You're coming out with the same card as them. You've got the Star card here and they're the Star card there. It's the Star card. What would Aquarius energy do in this situation? They would wait. because it's, to me, it's moving, it's projecting forward, and you've got this here. It's like you've done it before. You've been in this situation with them before. And the Star card is like healing and smoothing things out. I know it's impatient, so I didn't want to say wait, but to me it feels like it's just be it. Just both of these cards are thinkers, not doers. It's don't move the situation. Don't try and push it as yet, even though I feel that you want to. It's like just be at the moment, because this person is struggling with themselves to move out of that familiarity to what feels like familiarity with you as well, but they've stuck in who they are. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it just is that's what that pile is saying to me. They're showing their emotions in some way, and the connection is good, although it's difficult for them, probably difficult for the pair of you. You see each other quite often. This person feels like they're full of anxiety in some way, like, perhaps I didn't express myself well, or perhaps the conversation didn't go well, although that you just feel like they've known you for lifetimes. But there is a feeling of moving here that could bring things down, as in they feel they would lose part of this that they've built up. So, in one sentence, before I go, what message would they say from their heart to you is, thank you. Thank you. But that, and that, and that on the top. Because it's progress through difficult times. Thank you. I feel exactly like you feel. I love the Two of Cups. And I think a lot of people, when they go to, tarot readings, and most people want to know whether their feelings are reciprocated. And when you get that up, it's like, oh Lord, thank God for that. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps pile number 3 in some way. Sorry about the David Bowie rabble at the beginning. It just a thought that came to me, but just skip past it if it's, if it's too much. I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you. Bye-bye.